Coming up on Nebraska Stories, the Kiewit Luminarium sparks curiosity in young visitors. Women's pro volleyball comes to Omaha. An exiled artist finds refuge in Nebraska. A look back at the brave correspondents of D-Day. And the old-time country sounds of Lloyd McCarter and the Honky Tonk Revival.
There's a lot of teaching and learning happening here, disguised as fun. This is the Kiewit Luminarium, built as a place for curious humans. Built in a newly developed area on the banks of the Missouri River, it's 82,000 square feet of hands-on STEM exhibits and activities that opened in the spring of 2023.
Omaha was one of the few metros in the country of this size that did not have a science center. It's a pretty special place. It was designed, purpose-built, very collaboratively created with the community to be a place where everyone can come and explore scientific phenomena, which sounds intimidating. It's really all around us. We're part of it. It's nature, and sort of explore those phenomena in a very special way that is different from the way we usually encounter science and math. It's an experience that you are the driver of.
It's a place where you can change the flow of a stream, make music together, test how fingertip sweat shows inner feelings.
Describe the last time you cried.
Build a machine to topple dominoes, and more. 125 interactive exhibits created from research about how people learn.
So we connected the generator into the lights and the lights back to the generator, and that's a closed loop, right?
Jessica Johnson is a parent and homeschool teacher for her kids.
Yeah, we really enjoy coming here. I really enjoy science. My degree is in science from when I went to college, and so getting to share that with my kids is a lot of fun. Oh, this is very valuable. It's a lot of hands-on experience that I can't give necessarily at home.
The experiences are framed up in a way that it doesn't matter whether you're 7 years old or 75 years old, whether you have a Nobel laureate in physics or whether you're someone self-describes doesn't like science and math, because it's about framing up something that's engaging and kind of either visually delightful or curious, and then giving you the keys to kind of ask and answer your own questions. We're not telling you how to think about something. We're giving you an opportunity to explore, gather your own evidence, and kind of come to your own conclusions about it.
Omaha's Luminarium is modeled after San Francisco's Exploratorium. The Luminarium was actually created as part of a collaborative effort to expand what the Exploratorium has done for more than 50 years to reimagine science museums. Raker came here from the Exploratorium to help launch the Luminarium.
Yes, very much it flows from, but there's also some really important differences.
Like the role of these folks called Luminators.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Is this our first cow eye dissection?
A concept expanded from what happens in San Francisco, with young people ages 15 to 25 hired to help with almost every aspect of the operation.
Luminators are stationed everywhere in the Luminarium, so we're the first face that you see when you come check in. We have a pretty good extensive knowledge of each exhibit, and we also run demonstrations. We facilitate them, and we, explore different areas of science within those demonstrations. High five. Down low. You kind of got it.
This is a perception goggles demonstration.
As soon as you put them on and your brain gets adjusted to them, it becomes familiar with this new environment that you're putting it in. And, after a while, you get used to it. And then when you take them off, you are in another new environment that you have to quickly adjust to. So we try to explain to them that that's basically how our minds work with everything else. And then that was you getting adjusted to it. So you were getting
Luminators are most of the staff here. hired to represent a diverse population.
If you have any questions, just listen to somebody with a blue vest, okay? Thank you very much.
They talk about science, technology, engineering, and math. So the good thing about it, too, is that when you come and you see our Illuminator program, it's a very diverse group of people. And so for me, to be able to come into a place and feel represented, I think does amplify the interaction that you have with guests.
It's very new, a work in progress like the riverfront development it sits on. But the Luminarium is a place with lofty aspirations to be a place that will activate and engage a community, especially populations who may not have easy access to resources like this and be underrepresented in STEM careers.
With the Luminarium, we're closing that gap of, the being scared of the unknown and just fostering a safer environment for people to explore and learn new things.
The experiences, our staff, our pricing model, everything, it's really in the DNA of the place to say, how do we engineer for a different outcome that actually gets folks from all different backgrounds in here and engaged, and then hopefully in a flow that changes a lot of things, cycles of generational poverty, but also creating a really robust workforce.
I hope that it just sparks idea for young people.
For sure, here's Mancuso from the back row.
When I finished in 2012 with the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I had two choices, and that's it. The first one was end my career, move on with life. Then the only other option I had was to continue my career, but it had to be overseas, in a foreign land, foreign language. Didn't know anyone or anything.
Many of them played in other countries. Single apartment, no one else speaks English. Maybe the coach doesn't speak English. They don't get to see their friends and family.
Playing professionally in the United States wasn't even a thought, because obviously that takes a lot of money, a lot of ownership, and a lot of processes and strategies, and it just wasn't even a thing at the time.
Timing is everything, and an interest in the sport is at an all-time high. The Pro Volleyball Federation has been working over the past year to bring the first professional volleyball league in the U.S. to market.
This has been something I've always wanted to do, but never something I thought would be a reality.
I played in France for 3 years overseas. I wanted to be in America. I debated almost retiring for that sole reason prior to this league. So I think this is the best thing in the entire world, that I get to play on my home turf in my country and do what I love and what I'm good at, but I feel like I was meant to do.
It's one of the most amazing, epic ways for a coach to have an impact on the game in a professional level in the United States, here in the best city for volleyball in the country.
On January 24th, the Omaha Supernovas kicked off the inaugural season in a home match against the Atlanta Vibe. The league features 7 franchises from across the country, with 3 more slated to join next season. Each team features 14-player rosters, will play 24 regular season matches from January through May, all concluding in a Final Four playoff for the Pro Volleyball Federation Championship.
Here in Omaha, they're aware of what it takes to have a world-class team, and they have reached out to get us all the support staff with medical, sports psychologists, high-level strength and conditioning coach, high-level athletic training. They've done that at the highest level.
They're gonna see how entertaining it is, because college in the United States is wonderful. They do such a good job elevating their game and performing at a high level. But professionally, it's just an upgrade from there. And so I think they're gonna experience how entertaining it is.
Our team is gonna be a combination of USA national team players that have experience. We're gonna have professional players that have played many years overseas, that have a professional savvy and a game about them that's much more sophisticated maybe than a college player. We're gonna have some players that are 23 years old playing with a 34-year-old and try to mesh that talent and personality. I think our team's going to play with a vibe and an enthusiasm. They're going to be fun to watch.
I am so excited to be playing at home in front of fans that can speak English, so I know what they're saying. Just being home with the support, I have more joy playing, so it really brought back the joy of volleyball for me.
We all have so much gratitude and so much appreciation that we have a league, we have ownership, we have these people that have invested in the league, and they've said, we want to make women's volleyball go. This is going to take the world by storm.
Not only is this my home country, but this is my home state and my home city. So I feel very blessed. It's really life-changing for so many of us.
Rolling. Okay, stand by. I'll give you a countdown, and we'll start in 3, 2, 1.
My name is Sharmila Sayed, and I was born in the east part of Sri Lanka in Araur, a town surrounded by nature to a typical family full of hustle and bustle. My childhood was filled with adventure, and I grew up like a boy despite a strictly Islamic environment. All attempts by my parents and relatives to change me and control my independent nature were to no avail. When I was in high school, I started writing short stories, poems, and notes and sending them to magazines for publication. Education became a thirst after arriving in Colombo to study journalism in college. The new language, friendships, and experiences with the strangers changed me. Degrees in social work, journalism, and psychology expanded my knowledge and critical views. I began writing by writing about myself, my inner self, and real life. Being a woman of Islamic faith, the influence of religion and culture posed a lot of questions before me. During my childhood, I used to wonder why a little girl at a very tender age should cover her hair and head, and why being attired in a short skirt or frock is prohibited. When explanations for such issues are not plausible, a base for inner revolution is laid. In 2012, I published my first book, Women with Wings, which touched on women's struggle and included a poem on sex work. Former Justice Minister Rauf Hakim was at the book launch as a chief guest. As luck would have it, he read out loud the poem about sex work. The following day, I received a call from the BBC Tamil for an interview, during which I was asked about my views concerning sex work. I candidly responded, if it was legalized and accepted as a career, it would provide protection to women who were exploited in the industry. Coming from Araur, a conservative town in the east, speaking in favor of legalizing sex work was considered scandalous. The Muslim community back home reacted explosively, attacking me not just with criticism and rage, but also by issuing death threats. Intense social media campaigns were launched, where my photos were circulated among WhatsApp groups and Facebook pages, along with instructions to kill me on sight. In December 2012, me, a single mother with a 2-year-old son, made my way to India, where I lived in self-imposed exile. During this time, I published my first novel, Ummat, which won Best Novel of the Year 2014 in India by the Tamil Nadu Progressive Writers and Artists Association. I returned to Sri Lanka in 2015 to continue my work as a human rights advocate and writer. On Easter Sunday in 2019, a group of churches in Sri Lanka were bombed by the National Tawhid Jamaat, a militant Islamist group, resulting in the death of hundreds. Afterwards, authorities notified me that I had been named one of the NDJ's targets, likely due to my outspoken statement on gender equality and human rights. I was again forced to go into exile and separate from my sons in August 2019. I traveled to the United States for a 2-month residency at the renowned Art Omi in New York, then to India, Thailand, and Turkey. In 2021, I was awarded a prestigious IIE Artist Protection Fund Fellowship and placed in residence with UNO's Goldstein Center for Human Rights and Freed Academy. Eventually, I found a refuge through the Institute of International Education Artist Protection Fund, where I found a welcoming environment at the University of Nebraska at Omaha. My greatest relief today is that my children are in front of my eyes and my family is learning to adapt quickly to a new nation and culture without sacrificing the closeness and love that has always defined our relationships. My dad passed away unexpectedly last year, and his sudden passing at age 65 came as a terrible shock to me. Since I am unable to travel because of the threats back home, I miss the funeral and I feel guilty about abandoning my mom. But there is a sense of comfort that we are able to live without constant fear and oppression, despite the fact that losses and sorrows are all around us. In this new sanctuary, I have continued to weave my words and advocacy together, using my experiences and struggle as a driving force for my literary creations. As a writer for rights, my work now carries an even deeper sense of purpose, driven by my own journey of seeking safety and justice for myself and others.
Many Americans know about D-Day in World War II.
Allied naval forces began landing Allied armies this morning on the northern coast of France.
This landing is part of the concerted United Nations plan for the liberation of Europe.
The Allies stormed German troops in Normandy. More than 9,000 U.S. servicemen died in history's greatest amphibious assault. 6 hours earlier, 13,000 U.S. airborne troops also parachuted in against German gunfire.
These are the first ships to take off in the airborne invasion of Fortress Europe.
With them went 6 war correspondents, recruited by Nebraskan and U.S. Army press officer Barney Oldfield.
Barney Oldfield had that kind of personality. He had that salesmanship. They were not only going to be watching history, they were making history.
Before he died in 2003, Oldfield explained why General Dwight D. Eisenhower wanted journalists with American troops.
I know of no thing which so improves the morale of the soldier as to see his unit or his own name in print just once.
First, the journalists had to endure 15 days of physically and mentally grueling Army Airborne School. Then they had to survive 5 successful parachute jumps. All this for a chance to risk their reporting lives and for the first time ever jump into combat with U.S. soldiers.
One of the greatest lies on earth was when the jump master would say, "Are you ready?" And everybody said, "Yeah." If you don't know what fear is, you'll be introduced to it rather quickly as you go out the door.
Went in absolutely blind, absolutely cold, completely in the dark, into combat they'd never seen before.
Omaha's Bob Rubin, a Reuters news correspondent, was the first journalist to land in Normandy. Rubin was also the first correspondent to file a news report with a Normandy dateline. He sent it by carrier pigeon to Barney Oldfield, 150 miles away.
I'd like to think that they were more conscientious journalists wanting to tell the story, the most important story of the day.
Rubin and Normandy's war correspondents would keep reporting on America's GIs, a free press informing a world at war.
If you didn't have the wonderful press coverage that we were able to maintain at that time, it would have been a far different kind of a war.
I grew up on really old country music.
I shot a man in El Paso, flew across that Rio Grande.
My whole entire family played music. When I was 8 years old, I started playing just because I didn't want to be left out. I was the baby of the family. My mom and dad, they'd take me to the bars when they were playing music. I'd go lay my head against the speakers and listen to my dad's deep voice, and I'd fall asleep. That's my childhood. I just grew up with this style of music, and so it's something that's very near and dear to me. It means a lot to me. Country music, in particular, means a lot to me. This is what I was born to do, play music. Our sound is a mix between rockabilly and old school, hard-driving country music. It's music to drink and dance to. Some of us come from different parts of the country. Musically, we all have a little bit different backgrounds, but it's our differences, it just works. Every time we get together, we love each other so much just as friends that we just like playing together. And a lot of times, you know, it doesn't matter if there's 10 people or 10,000 people, it's just us four on stage having fun. And so that chemistry that we have on stage, we feed off the crowd, and the crowd really feeds off of us because we're up there dancing and smiling and having fun.
When I get on stage and the lights come on, it's a lonely man's way to fame. With this hard life drinking.
There's not a lot of people that play traditional country music anymore. Honky-tonk, western swing, those old waltzes, those old crying, sad, cheating, drinking songs. It's becoming lost, I guess. So I try to keep it going. Whether I'm the last person on the face of the earth that likes it or not, I'll probably just play it, you know, because it means so much to me.
Well, who's gonna drive this pickup home tonight? Gonna suit my head, it feels right. Who's gonna tell me the phone I had last night? Who's gonna drive this pickup home tonight? Well, time and time it happens. I stop off for some of my friends. Just one drink before we go home. That one drink leads to another. Bartender, bring me another. I know it's late, but she's not at home. It's a 1 a.m. and all my friends are gone again, so it seems. sitting in this so far alone. Well, there's one thing for certain, that I'm gonna be hurting if I can't find my way back home. So who's gonna beat this pickup home tonight? Who's gonna suit my head that feels right? Who's gonna tell me the fun I had last night? Who's gonna drive this pickup home tonight? Oh, watch Mikey go. Well, who's gonna drive this pickup home tonight? Who's gonna suit my head that feels right? Who's gonna tell me the fun I had last night? Who's gonna drive this pickup home tonight? Oh, now, who's gonna drive this pickup home tonight? Oh, Lord, drive this pickup home tonight. Yes, sir.
Watch more Nebraska Stories on our website, Facebook, and YouTube. Nebraska Stories is funded in part by the Margaret and Martha Thomas Foundation and the Bill Harris and Mary Sue Hormel Harris Fund for the presentation of cultural programming.